Hello, it's Lesley Fightmaster, and this is yoga for weight loss. And I kind of struggled about whether or not to make a video yoga for weight loss because I think that a lot of types of yoga help. But first, let's take our hands together and set an intention for our practice. I will recommend or suggest an intention having to do with loving ourselves exactly the way we are. And then we'll make our way onto our backs. So I think that weight loss, as far as weight loss goes, loving ourselves is a really huge part of it. Draw your right knee into your chest, circle the right ankle in one direction, and then the other direction. And then lift your head and shoulders up, lift your left leg off the floor, and reach your fingertips forward. You can cradle the head in the hands, and that'll take some pressure off the neck if you feel any discomfort. Keep breathing, draw the belly in a little bit. And then extend your right leg up toward the ceiling. Take another breath here. Exhale, lift up to sitting all the way into boat pose. Use your hands if you need to sit up. Lift the chest, lengthen through the spine. Knees can be bent or straight, but spine must be long. Slowly lower down. Put your hands down first if you need a little extra support, or come down slowly without them. Draw the left knee into the chest. Circle the left ankle in one direction, and then the other way. And then I'll extend the right leg up off the floor, head and shoulders off the floor, fingertips forward. You can always hold on to the left leg as well. That makes it a little easier. Or remember, cradle the head in the hands if your neck bothers you. Keep breathing here. Take another long breath. And then extend your left leg up toward the ceiling. Take a breath here. And then as you exhale, start to lift up all the way to seated, back into boat pose. Knees can be bent or straight, but again, the spine must be long. Keep breathing. You can hold on behind the knees if it's getting a little difficult. Take another breath here. And then crossing at the shins, roll forward and make your way onto hands and knees, wrists under shoulders and knees under the hips. Inhale, bring the chest forward, lift your chin, lift your tailbone up. And exhale, round the back, chin toward the chest. Inhale, heart forward, draw the collarbones wide. Exhale, and round the back. And a couple more times. Inhale to come forward. And then exhale, rounding the back. Walk your hands forward a handprint. Tuck your toes under. Downward dog, arms, shoulders, distance, feet, hips width, and then bicycling the legs. So this class is geared toward weight loss because we're going to do some parts of the sequence that are much more heat building and more difficult, and then a little bit less difficult. Bend the knees, belly toward thighs, and reach the heels toward the floor. So it's sort of like interval training. And that helps with weight loss, but so does eating a really healthy diet. And most importantly, loving ourselves exactly the way they are. I may have mentioned that once or twice. Keep stretching back in your down dog. And then inhale, come forward into plank. So we're going to make it a little more difficult in a moment, but not yet. Lower slowly to the floor. Inhale, peel the chest up for cobra. Draw the hands toward the feet. Keep the back of the neck long. Lift the belly, tailbone toward the heels. Toes are pointed straight back. And then come up to the knees. Tuck your toes and make your way back into down dog. Arms and ears in line. Spread your fingers wide. Root down into the base of the fingers. Look forward. Either step or hop your feet to hands. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press down through the feet to rise up. And exhale, Samastitihi. So coming to the front of the mat, inhale, sweep your arms out, around, and up. Exhale, hinging from your hips, fold forward. Hips over the heels. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, step into plank. And lower down, elbows in, Chaturanga, shoulders no lower than the elbows, but you can have your knees down. That's fine. Inhale into up dog or cobra. And then exhale, make your way back into down dog. Always take your attention back to your steady breathing. Press down into the base of the fingers as you lift up through your forearms. Spin your outer upper arms, triceps back, inner upper arms, biceps, spin toward the front of the mat. Pressing the weight up toward the hips. Look forward, either step or float the feet up. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. And exhale to fold. Inhale, press down through your feet, come up with a long spine, stretch up and look up. And then exhale, hands to heart. Inhale again, sweep the arms up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. And exhale, stepping or floating back, Chaturanga. Knees can be down here in Chaturanga anytime. Inhale, pressing up, roll the shoulder heads back. And exhale, back into downward dog. Draw the belly in and up as you stretch your chest back toward your thighs and reach your heels toward the floor. And then looking forward, come into plank pose. Holding plank here for a moment, tailbone toward heels, pull in your belly, heart forward. Make sure that the backs of your knees are lifting up. No arching in the lower back. So we're going to hold this for a moment. And then take your left forearm down and your right forearm down and make your way into Dolphin Plank. So again, we're stepping it up a little bit here. We're going to generate some heat. So if it gets to be too much, take your knees down to the floor. Otherwise, make sure your heart's coming forward and don't let your head drop down. But you can keep the back of the neck long. Now, feet together, roll to the pinky toe side of your right foot, lift up through the left arm. Bring your left hip a little bit forward so the hips are stacked on top of each other. Keep reaching the tailbone toward the heels. If you're balanced, you can turn to look up toward the left hand or toward the ceiling. And then we'll take that left hand to the side, come back into Dolphin Plank and roll right over to the right side. So feet together, rolling to the right. Bring that right hip a little bit forward again. Tailbone toward heels, lift the belly. Crown of the head is reaching forward, maybe looking up toward the right hand. Steady breathing. You can always take your bottom knee down for more support here. And then back into Dolphin Plank. Press your right hand where your right elbow was, left hand where left elbow was, plank pose, and then back into downward facing dog. If you want to break, take the knees down and rest, push, pause. Otherwise, inhale, right leg up, open the hip for a moment. And then square off the hips, step it right in the middle of the hands. Spin the back heel flat, come up into Warrior Two on your inhale. So arms to a T, gaze over the right fingertips, drop your right hip down, but lift your left inner thigh up. Be sure your knee is right over your ankle. And it points right over the second toe. And then drop the left arm reverse. Exhale, bend into the right knee a little bit. Keep reversing now, straighten out your right leg. Exhale here. Inhale, come up. Triangle pose. Shorten the stance if you like to. Shift the hips back and lean forward. Get lots of length. And then take your right hand down wherever it falls to. Stretch up through the left arm. Looking toward the left fingertips if that's okay on your neck. And then we'll sweep the left arm forward and down and all the way around in a circle. So inhale it up. Exhale, circle it around. Inhale, reach up. Exhale and circle. Inhale, reach up and exhale, bring it around. Reach up on the inhale, look back to the floor, bend the front knee and step back into plank. Lower through Chaturanga. Inhale into up dog, roll the shoulder heads back and exhale back into down dog. Left leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip for just a moment. And then lightly step it up right between the hands. Spin the back heel flat. Come to warrior two. Knee over the ankle. Gaze over the fingertips. Keep the belly drawing in. Steady breathing. And slowing down a little bit. Drop the right arm reverse. Bend into the left knee here. Keep reversing, straighten the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, come up on your next inhale. Shorten the stance if you like to. Shift your hips back. Reach forward for triangle pose. Shoulders in line with each other. Reach the crown of the head forward and then look up. Steady, steady breathing. And then sweep your right arm around in a circle. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, and sweep it down. Inhale, bring it around, looking up. Exhale, make your circle. And one more time. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, swing it around. Inhale the arm up. And then looking down, bend the front knee and step back. Plank pose through Chaturanga. Inhaling up and exhaling back. Stretching back here, get nice and long. And then look up. Step or hop your feet up. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale to fold. Inhale, press through the feet and rise all the way up and look up. And then exhale, Samastitihi. Come to the front of your mats and close your eyes, hands at heart, just for a couple of breaths. So we're going to step it up again in a moment. So finding your center here. And then inhale, bend the knees, come into Utkatasana, chair pose. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, press up. And exhale, back to plank. Chaturanga, right knee in. Chaturanga, draw the left knee into chest. Back to plank and then lift the hips into down dog. Step your right foot up by your right hand right away. Back foot flat. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, lower down through Chaturanga. And then inhale into up dog. And exhale back into plank and then Chaturanga, right knee into chest. Chaturanga, left knee into chest. Lift the hips, downward dog. Step the left foot up, back foot flat. Rise up, warrior one right away. As you exhale, lower right back down, Chaturanga. Inhale, press through the hands and feet. Exhale, back to plank. Lower Chaturanga. You can do this with the knees down. So Chaturanga right knee in, Chaturanga left knee in. Knees can be down. It's a little bit less intense. And then back into downward facing dog. Look up, step or hop your feet up. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale to fold. Bend your knees, inhaling. Chair pose. Exhale, Samastitihi. Take a little step back. We'll add Bakasana. Inhale, bend the knees into Utkatasana first. Bring your hands right down the center. Open the knees. Take the knees in toward the armpits as high as you can. Straighten out the arms a little bit and lean your weight forward. Then taking the feet up maybe one at a time. Try for both at a time. Feet together. Lift the heels up toward the hips. Or maybe you're just balancing a little with the feet off the floor. Maybe a half an inch. Step or float back, Chaturanga. Inhale, press up. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga, right knee. Plank, Chaturanga, left knee in. And then downward dog. Right foot steps back, foot flat right away. Warrior one on your inhale. Stretching up. Exhale again to lower. Chaturanga. Inhale, press through the hands and feet, opening the front of the body. And exhale, plank. Chaturanga, right knee. Plank, Chaturanga, left knee in. Lift the hips, down dog. Left foot steps back, foot is flat. Rise up, warrior one right away. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or always cobra, your choice. Then plank pose and then right into down dog this time. So So even out the breath. If you want a break, take it. Take the knees down, rest, take a child's pose. Always your choice. And then look up, step or hop your feet up. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. And then press down through the feet, bend the knees, Utkatasana, and back to Samastitihi. And now folding forward, take the big toes with the first two fingers. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, fold. So if you can, straighten the legs, pull up on the kneecaps, firm the quadriceps, hips right over the heels, so shift the weight a little bit forward. If the knees are bent, that's fine too, and weight can stay more in the heels. Keep reaching the crown of the head toward the floor. Then inhale, come halfway up. Exhale the hands to the hips. Inhale, come on up. Take a quarter turn to one side. Take your feet to parallel. Hands on hips. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, come forward, hands down. Lengthen as you inhale. And exhale, Prasarita Padottanasana A. So again, check where the weight is in the feet. If it's all in your heels, shift it forward slightly. Lift the shoulders away from the floor gently. Head can rest on the floor if it reaches, but of course it doesn't have to. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale the hands to the hips. Inhale back to center, arms to a T. Inhale, interlace your fingers behind your back, like so. Or you can hook your thumbs. Inhale, open the chest, and exhale, fold forward, Prasarita C. So if you have those kinds of elbows that like to lock here, try to find a little bit of softness in the elbow joints. It's one of my things that I always need to be conscious of. Always trying to work on it. Sometimes well, sometimes not as well. Hips over the heels again. Shift the weight slightly forward. Inhale back up. And we'll step or jump the feet together and come back to the front of the mat. And then bend the knees back into chair pose on your inhale, stretching up. Exhale and fold in. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, step or float, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, back into down dog. Right leg back and up as you inhale. Lightly step it up. Stand the ball of the back foot. Come on up into high lunge, into crescent. Make sure that knee is over the ankle. We're going to step it up again. So bending the left knee, just let it hover off the floor. Drop the tailbone down. That right knee stays over the ankle. Pull the ribs and belly in. And then keep pulling the right hip back. Left hip forward so hips are level. Now try and keep your hips low here. And then straighten that back leg. Bend it. Exhale, straighten it. Inhale, bend it. Exhale, straighten. Keep the hips low. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten it. And bring the hands down to the floor. Chaturanga. Inhale, press up into up dog. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale the left leg back and up. Exhale, step it up. Stand the ball of your back foot. Come on up again into crescent. Rise up, spin the triceps forward. Bend your right knee. Let it hover above the floor, maybe a foot above the floor. Drop the tailbone. Make sure the left knee is pointed straight ahead and over the left ankle. Draw the ribs and belly and pull the left hip back. And you might be starting to feel this one. You can always keep your hands on your hips as well. Now keep the hips as low as you can. And then straighten that right leg. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, hips low. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend it. And exhale, straighten it out. One more time, bend. Exhale to straighten. Bring the hands to the mat through your vinyasa, or skip it and go into downward facing dog. Now feet together, roll to the pinky toe side of the right foot, lift up through the left arm. Try and stack the hips on top of each other. And then keep reaching tailbone toward heels. Keep the belly lifted. Bring your left hand to the side, come back into plank. Chaturanga, press up, and then right over to the left side. Remember, you can take your left knee down for more support. Try and bring that top hip forward just a bit. And look up at the hand if that's okay on your neck. And then make your way back to plank, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale back into down dog. Stretching back. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it up. This time left knee down, so we'll slow it down again a little bit. Stretch up. Pull the right hip back. Make sure the knee's over the ankle. Bring your left arm across. Make a fist with your left hand. Wrap it with the right hand. So as you inhale, get lots of length through the spine. We don't want to compress. And then exhale, twisting from the waist up. So keep pulling your right hip back and sending your left hip forward. Take another breath here. And then unwind. Hands down. Step it, or actually before you step it back, straighten the right leg. Come onto the heel. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold for just a couple breaths, stretching out the hamstrings. Keep pulling that right hip back so hips stay level. And now we'll rebend it and step back, just a down dog this time. Left leg up, inhale. Exhale, step it up, right knee to the floor. Come on up, inhaling. Pull the left hip back as you sink the hips forward. And then leaning forward, take your right arm across, make a fist with the right hand and wrap it with your left. And start to bring your chest turning toward the hands and bring the hands turning toward the center of the chest. Take one more breath. And then unwind, straightening the left leg. Come onto the heel. Lengthen on the inhale. Fold forward on the exhale. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. And then again, pulling the left hip back and sending the right hip forward. And rebend the knee. Tuck your back toes. Plank pose. Lower Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, back into down dog. And then looking forward, step or hop the feet up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then bend the knees. Utkatasana, chair pose. And take your feet hips width apart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring them down. Go a little lower. And then come up. So Utkatasana, and then reach up. Sit back. Utkatasana, weight in the heels. And then reach up. Sit back, reach up. Sit back and reach up. Keep going. When you reach up, keep just a little bit of a bend in the knee. When you sit back, bend it more. And arms go back and come up. If you're getting super tired, you can keep your hands on your hips. Or don't bring them all the way up. So bend the knees, chair pose, lift up, but keep the knees bent. Chair pose, lift up, sweep the arms back, lift them up, keep going. This is really good for strengthening our legs. So just a little bit longer. I think there were like 20 of these. Almost there. Oh, we made it. Fold forward. Uttanasana, that should feel pretty good. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And exhale, plank, Chaturanga. And lift back into downward facing dog. Coming back to plank, Chaturanga again. Inhale, up dog. Back to plank, Chaturanga. Press straight up and then down dog. We're going to do this a couple more times. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Knees can be down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to plank. Again, Chaturanga. Knees can be down. Press straight up and lift up and back into down dog. And then back into plank. Chaturanga, use your belly muscles. Inhale, up dog. Pull the belly in. Exhale, plank. Press Chaturanga. And then to down dog. And we'll do it one more time. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Keep the belly lifted. Exhale, plank. Press Chaturanga. Press up and back into down dog. Oh, and then right leg up on the inhale. Bring it through for pigeon. Yay. So inhale here. If pigeon doesn't work for your knees or gives you any discomfort, then come onto your back and take thread the needle instead. Or if you're in pigeon pose, make sure that your back toes are straight back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come down any amount, or you can stay sitting up. Ideally, the hips are level. So if your right hip is down low and your left hip is up higher, put something underneath your right hip like a blanket or a pillow to even out those hips. Let everything just go. Couple more breaths here, stretching out the hips. And then making your way up, swing the right leg back and up, stretching it out. And then setting it back down, make a little circle, set it back down. Left leg back and up, inhale, and bring it through for pigeon. Right toes back, and if it doesn't feel good on your knee or your ankle, come onto your back instead. And the left ankle goes just a little past the right knee for thread the needle. So either one. If you're in pigeon, inhale, lengthen, toes straight back. Exhale, and start to come forward. So again, we want the hips to be level. So even off your hips, put something underneath your left hip if it's rolling down to the floor. Again, let everything just release. Come back to your intention. Again, about self-love, self-acceptance. You are just perfect the way you are, just so you know. Come on up, tuck the back toes and sweep the left leg up. Stretch it out, maybe make circles. And then looking forward, step or hop to seated. With the fingertips facing forward, bend the knees. We'll do reverse table. Lift up, let your head go back. So keep lifting up, head goes back any amount. This one is a great anti-Chaturanga pose for those shoulders. Tailbones reaching toward the backs of the knees. And then lower down. Rest a moment. And once again, lift up. Just a couple breaths here. Again, finding length in the front of the body. And then setting yourself back down. Lie onto your back for bridge pose. Take your feet hips distance apart, arms by your sides. And make sure the outer edges of the feet are parallel. Press into bridge. Chin away from the chest, roll the shoulders under or not. You can always keep the palms pressing down. Spiral the thighs in toward each other. Reach the tailbone toward the backs of your knees as you breathe here. And then lower down. And we'll just rest a moment. And then you can do another bridge pose. Or if you'd rather take wheel pose, hands up by the ears, elbows point straight up. And come to the crown of the head, line up your wrists underneath your elbows, and then straighten the arms. Tailbone still reaches toward the backs of the knees. Spiral your thighs in toward each other. Breathing, breathing. Chest is reaching toward the wall. You can see with your eyes, like you're being pulled in two different directions. And then chin in and lower. And draw the knees into the chest now, rocking gently side to side. And then rolling ourselves up, back and forth. Take a couple of rolls and make your way up. Soles of feet together, knees apart, Baddha Konasana. Exhale, come forward with a long spine. So hinging from the hips, reach the crown of the head forward instead of letting the back round. We'll start here. And then inhale to come up. And now we'll round down the forehead toward the feet. And let the shoulders release away from the ears. No tension there. And inhale to come up. And take the knees together and then extend the legs out. Flex the ankles if you're rounded in your back. Maybe sit up on a blanket or a pillow. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, extend. Paschimottanasana. Pull the toes back, flex the ankles. And again, try and keep length in the spine. So instead of thinking head down to the knees, think belly lengthens toward the thighs. And then inhale the head up. And exhale, make your way onto your back. Feet onto the floor. And right leg over left. And take the knees to the left and look right. If that's a little too intense, you don't have to cross the legs. You just put the right on top of the left. Try and turn the belly up toward the ceiling. And you take this gentle, easy twist. Come back to center. Shift the hips to the left a little, left leg over right or not. Knees off to the right and turn and look over the left shoulder. Come on to center, and we'll make our way into Shavasana. So be sure to reach the tailbone toward the heels, lengthen out the lower back. Shoulder blades toward the waist gently, arms by your sides. Let your feet just flop open, and then just relax. Release your Ujjayi breathing, just quiet breath and quiet body. Shavasana, rest. As you're resting here just a little bit longer, Start to maybe lengthen the breath as I bring our quote for this class is by Thaddeus Gullis, who is an author. Whatever you are doing, love yourself for doing it. Whatever you are feeling, love yourself for feeling it. Start to make some movements in the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms overhead, stretch. Roll off to your right side and rest just a moment here. And slowly make your way up to seated. Bringing the hands together in Anjali Mudra in front of the heart. Hands to our forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to the heart, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications. Sending out this wonderful energy we've created to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked our class, please push the like button and subscribe and tell your friends. Most importantly, love yourself exactly the way you are. And we are trying to get our yoga classes to as many people as we possibly can, because we think that the more people practicing yoga, the better our world will be. So if you can help us with our mission, there is a link below to send a donation through PayPal of any amount. We absolutely appreciate anything at all, anything. And please go to fightmasteryoga.com and join our mailing list. You can find out about our upcoming retreats. I've got one coming up shortly this summer in Ojai, California. Have a great day. Bye-bye.